Hi, I'm Stargate Pioneer.
And I'm Steven Jondrew, and we're from Better Podcasting, a proud member of the Gonna Geek Network.
Just like the show you're listening to now.
The opinions expressed are those of the individual host.
Check out all the other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
And get ready, because geekiness begins in 3,
2,
1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 554 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Thursday, March 14th, 2024. We did take a week off, but we are back and hopefully mostly recharged. I don't know. My name is Chris. I'm joined by the usual band of misfits. We'll start first with Mr. Anthony BAchman.
Die fast, assholes. My pizza's getting cold.
Funny enough, I had pizza for dinner tonight. It was delicious. We're also joined by the very fuzzy one, Mr. Willie D. Nelson.
I thought there was a lot of people that like cold pizza.
I mean, I do enjoy cold pizza, but some people absolutely loathe it. My wife, for instance, thinks cold pizza is one of the grossest things in the world. Me, I'm like, ooh, cold pizza. I love it. Because it never really reheats right. That's the problem. Like, unless you have your own pizza oven, you can't really reheat pizza quite right. Now, I will admit, I installed a micro. It's not quite the same. Actually, the closest I've gotten to it working for reheating is, no joke, my microwave has a pizza button on it, and that's the closest I get to it reheating properly, which is supposed to do some magic voodoo with how the sensors work in it to be like, oh, we'll be able to adequately detect when it reaches such and such temperature and blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the fuck it does. But the pizza comes out good, but the crust's still not as crispy as when you get it from the delivery man, or pick it up yourself, or pull it out of the oven if you're a DiGiorno man. Why do I bring up pizza? Because today is March 14th. It's Pie Day. Happy Pie Day, gentlemen.
Isn't it Mario Day? Oh, wait, no.
Mario Day was 4 days ago.
Pie is the 4, yeah.
Okay. 3.14159, blah, 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 blah. It's Pie Day.
Which was also referenced in today's Invincible episode. The Magnum PI poster is in a circle.
I see.
It's a Magnum pie.
Wait for it. The more you know.
Damn right.
We can't actually use that graphic because we'll get sued by NBC Universal.
Oh, no. We can't use it live, but the people in post, they'll do it. The more you know.
We need you just to insert that with your imagination that's going.
No, I'm doing the wrong. I thought I was doing the right. The more you know. There it is.
There you go.
Now we redo it.
There you go.
Fix it in post.
Yeah, I don't fix things like that in post.
I'm talking to future Willie, but I'm not going to lie. That dude's a piece of shit. And
wait.
I think we should fire him. He's probably going to fail.
I don't think he does anything in post.
I'm curious.
Man, can we talk about with that guy?
I'm curious though. You implied that future Willie was going to be fixing things in post. Does that mean I don't have to edit this week?
Apparently,
because
I'll
send you the raw files like 10 minutes after the show ends if you want to do it.
Let's see if he has the knowledge to do it, because I don't think he's even inept to. Or I think he is inept to not be able to do these things.
Present Willie, do you know how to do it?
Possibly. So
what app would you use to do the editing?
Present Willie is not so much better than future Willie. He just likes to blame future Willie.
I do something similar at work when we'll be talking about something and it's like, oh, this is something we really need to fix later down the line. And I pause and go, well, that sounds like a problem for future Chris. Because present Chris.
Wait, hold on. Sit down and let me spread some tea here for a second. But me and future Willie, we agree on one thing. And we were of one mind with this. You want to know what?
No, I'm scared.
That guy past Willie. That dude's a major douche.
Okay, I was really afraid of where this was going to go, but that's okay. I can live with that.
Yeah, past Willie don't do shit right.
Not at all. No one wants that guy around.
Nope.
What are you talking about? We have a massive back catalog of episodes with Past Willie, and most of our instances of Past Willie I really enjoy until it's like Past Reverend Willie, and then I'm not having much fun.
No. See, every time you go back and listen to those are present Willie.
Well, they were recorded in the present, but they are now being played in our present, but as a glimpse of what the present was in the past. So technically, it's the past. It's the past present, Willie.
Mm-hmm.
If you
God,
go
my
to the
brain
past,
Which
if you go to
those
the past,
double
that is now
negatives-
your present, which you cannot change to adjust your future.
Oh,
those
God.
double negatives cross out and cancel each other. So at any point in time, I am the present.
This is worse than temporal mechanics in Star Trek right now, trying to figure out how the timeline
I love
actually
it.
works.
No, what's weird is you fully understand this and you can't make it make sense in your head. You just know it to be true. It's like writing out an answer, but not showing your work, but
Well,
you know it's the right answer.
But the problem is there's multiple theories of time travel, and we don't know which is right when you look at sci-fi. You have the Star Trek theory of time travel, which is there's one timeline, and you're constantly rewriting and fixing it or changing things if you travel back and forth in time.
No, that's the Bill and Ted timeline. That's not Star Trek. Fuck that.
Get
Sorry.
away with that when they introduced the Kelvin timeline. It kind of broke that concept of Star Trek time
Yeah.
travel.
Fair enough.
And then you've got the Avengers Marvel timeline or time travel that they introduced, where it just creates many, many different branches that then have to be pruned.
Yep.
Every timeline is a grain of sand in this desert, pretty much.
Yeah.
That
Every
sound-
timeline is a choice. Every individual choice can make another timeline. That's a lot of timelines.
Just because they pruned them doesn't mean that they didn't happen. So every
and
grain of
then
sand.
you have the worst timeline because fucking Barry.
Fucking Barry, man.
Fucking Barry. The worst.
Actually, no, it's not Barry's fault. It's Ezra Miller's fault. Let's just stick with that.
Well, it was originally Barry's fault. It became
Fair
Ezra
enough.
Miller's fault.
But just think, we have timelines where Ezra Miller isn't the Flash. That means then.
Those are the good ones.
So how do I have interdimensional cable like Rick and Morty that allows me to see those versions of the Flash movie?
Yeah, that's what Rick and Morty needs. We need the good version of the Flash where it's starring Grant Gustin.
Yeah.
Now, if there's one thing that present Willie, future Willie, and past Willie can all agree on, is that fuck that Ezra Miller guy.
I thought they only agreed on boobs.
Do all three Willies share a love for pizza?
You show me a person who doesn't love pizza.
I mean, what if you're lactose intolerant? You probably don't like pizza.
You don't.
But
have
your
to have
past
cheese on
version
your
might
pizza.
before you were lactose intolerant.
It'd still be worth it.
I don't know, man. I guess it depends on what the lactose does to you and if lactate can help.
I don't know. Pizza's
I
still
mean,
pizza.
I'd be pretty sad if I couldn't eat pizza anymore. Let's just put it that way. Like, I understand that folks that are gluten intolerant can oftentimes get a gluten-free pizza or the cauliflower crust, which is kind of as close as they can get without having problems there. But I'm not sure how you have pizza without cheese. Because is there really fake cheese that exists out there? I don't
vegan
honestly know.
cheese.
I mean, there
This
is,
doesn't
but
exist.
yeah,
Does
there
vegan
is
cheese melt?
kinda. But
Listen,
I
I,
think
don't know
yeah,
what kind of microplastics they put in that shit, man.
Fair.
yeah. If there ain't cheese on it, I don't think it counts as pizza. Though I have to say the veggie cauliflower crust pizza at Costco, we have constantly been buying the 2 boxes of that thing. We just picked up 4 more of them on sale. It has no right to taste as good as it does.
See, I
For
don't
a-
have Costco's.
Vegetarian pizza. It's ridiculous with the cauliflower crust. Like, it's insane. It's
You know-
one of the best tasting pizzas I've ever had.
No Costco's here, buddy. I got to drive like 2 hours to get to Costco, and I don't care that much.
Really?
Oh, you got like a Sam's Club near you?
Huh.
I got Sam's Club. Yeah, my wife has
They-
a Sam's membership, so we can go
They
there.
may have it. They may have it.
Hmm.
It's like a California company. But yeah, it's just
Is it the
I'll send
California
you-
Pizza Kitchen?
I don't know if it's California Pizza Kitchen, but I think it's another California company. But yeah, we picked it up once because the wife's always trying to get us everybody in the house to eat healthier. Which trying to keep us around a little bit longer, which is always a good thing. Me and the kid are always trying to dump carbs and sugar into our bodies, and the wife's like, eat a damn vegetable. But so she picked up that vegetarian pizza, which I was like, oh, whatever, it's pizza, I'll try it. It's fucking delicious. Like we've probably eaten that thing for dinner maybe 50, 60 times now in the last year. Like, it's really, really good. And
It's
it's
not
super
bad.
simple, super quick to make. It's 15 minutes in the oven. Yeah, and it's vegetarian, cauliflower crust, and it's delicious. It's ridiculously good.
I do enjoy a veggie pizza, actually. American.
I-
Let me clarify. American
normally
veggie
don't.
pizza, and this is not me being American pro whatever. It's just when I lived in Germany, if you got pizza in Germany and got the veggie pizza, it would often have like broccoli and corn on it. It doesn't work for me on pizza.
those are vegetables.
They are.
You got to give them that. They are.
I mean, it is. It's just it's a different cultural thing when it comes to veggie pizza. Because I remember one time when I was really young, when we lived in Germany and we were dining out on the economy, and I was like, I want pizza, and we got vegetarian pizza or something like that. And my dad's like, the hell is corn and broccoli going on here?
Like, who put a salad on my motherfucking pizza? What is this shit? Is it broccolinis and shit?
I mean, the broccolini I've seen on Americanized pizza, for lack of a better term, but corn, it sort of works. It's just, you got to remember, corn oftentimes is a sweeter corn. So it was an interesting dynamic there to have the sweet corn there with a tomato sauce that was a little more on the sweet side than a savory sauce. So it was interesting.
Corn works on a taco pizza. I've had that.
It's true. I do like corn. It's tasty. This is not the corn show, though. I'm sorry, guys.
No, this is the pizza show.
It is the pizza show because it's Pie Day.
Chris, this is always the corn show because we are always so corny.
No, I knew he was going to do it. I knew he was going to do it.
You see, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
At least in this timeline.
I think we should move on, Chris, because Willie's just caught in a maze.
I hate you all so damn much right now.
Punt.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
I hate them so much that I had to kick off the bumper to stop all of the terrible punnings. I'm sorry, this is a sensitive topic because my wife makes puns all the time, so I'm surrounded by puns right now. You
live in the dad joke life, huh?
You guys don't understand how tough this is. See, this is the kind of stuff I have to deal with on a regular basis.
I don't know how you get through the day. Must be really tough.
Get through the day.
I drink coffee. Let me clarify.
I drink heavily. I self-medicate
with coffee,
barbiturates, and methamphetamines.
I mean, no joke. I can't tell you guys the last time I had an alcoholic beverage of some kind, but the last time I had coffee was at 9 a.m. this morning because I have at least 2 to 3 cups a day. I have a problem maybe with my caffeine. Oh, and wait, this drink I have right here is also caffeinated. So, whoops.
See, I can because we went to Texas Roadhouse on Wednesday in the middle of the afternoon because my weekends are weird. And so I have Tuesday, Wednesdays off. Those are my Saturday, Sunday. And so, yeah, we went and had like a late lunch at like 3 o'clock at a Texas Roadhouse. And I had me a 22-ounce Budweiser for the first time in probably 4 months.
Yeah.
When you don't ever have beer and you have like a nice cold beer with a meal, it's so good. It's so good.
There's
like
something to be said for that.
Just one beer, because my problem is like, I mean, the reason I had to actually like quit drinking is that I'm the type of person, if it's in the house, I drink it till it's gone, whether it's a case of beer or a bottle of vodka. Like it's just going in the gullet until I finish it. But when I don't keep it in the house, I don't crave it. I don't want it. I'll go out to a nice dinner and just have a beer, and then I'm good. Yeah, so I just got to keep it out of the house. But yeah, when you only have it every once in a while, it's so tasty. It's like, just a big, nice frosted mug.
You know what else is tasty? That would be our news of the week. It's the part of the show where we run down what's in our minds, our juicy opinions on what's some of the best geeky and nerdy news that's popped up since the last episode. So technically, you have a 2-week window here because we took last week off. So you might be getting about 2 weeks worth of news here. I mean, you're still getting the same count on news stories though, because we're lazy. Just putting that out there.
Because I was told there would be no math.
Anything.
I mean, I try to avoid math at all costs until I have to math.
Aftermath ain't gonna be nothing after that.
I see what you did there. Let's kick off the news, though.
Numbers.
I'm gonna start. Actually, no, I should probably go in the middle because we have 2 other movie stories. So, Willie, start with your news story first. What do you got for us?
Confusion. A lot of confusion.
Continue.
You see, I think a lot of other people had the same question when we all collectively as a society watched the greatest movie known to man, Morbius. We all had the question at the end. What is Michael Keaton's Vulture doing there?
Oh, that wasn't my question. My question was, is it in fact Morbin time?
That
It's
was
always Morbin time. That is not the question to ask. 'Cause
I'm
we
sorry.
already have an answer to it.
I'm sorry. So the question you were bringing up is WTF, why is Michael Keaton in this?
Yes. But unlike what I was thinking previously, I would have thought the man himself would have known as to why his character was there and what was possibly in the future. But come to find out, Michael Keaton don't know. Like all of us, he was left in the dust. Like, I don't know what's going on. Direct quote of saying, he says, no idea, none, zero as to why he was in there. Even they couldn't quite explain it. He said, look, let me just kind of tell you. And as Michael Keaton, I go, okay, I really don't quite know what you're talking about or even who some of these people are, assuming some of the characters or where this plot is going. And I'm sharing with him. I still don't understand how, what was it? No Way Home? Was that the last one? All the home movies kind of converged, except for Homecoming. Remember, that's the first one. But
Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home.
Okay, yeah. It's Far From Home and No Way Home. It's the three words that bop, bop, bop. That's what's throwing it all.
Far From Home, European tour. No Way Home, Peter Parker's gone.
Yeah, far, he's far away. Europe.
There you go. Easy to remember.
It's never going to stick, but it's nice that it's there.
It's not as hard as
I still
don't
understand how that whole multiverse blah 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 thing affected the whole. I'm just going to call it the Venom verse because is that what people are calling it?
I don't think Sony knows how it affected it either, based off of what we've seen from inserting Michael Keaton in Morbius, and then whatever the fuck Madam Web was, which drops on digital tomorrow because it's had such a box office drop off.
I would see that.
Hold on a second.
The Venom thing does make sense though. So basically, during the Far From Home, while like the influx was coming in, literally Tom Hardy just like appeared in a bar in Mexico, but in Peter, like the Tom Holland Peter Parker universe, and he sat there at the bar and he went over like, so there's a big purple guy, there's a big angry orange green guy. Like the bartender told him everything that happened with Thanos, and then he went back to his own universe.
I mean, I know I get what happened. Sure, you wrote it to be so, and it's a thing, you know. If that's the best way
they did that just so they could leave the little black bit of goo on the bar,
why they did it.
Which makes no sense whatsoever. Why the symbiote would have just and I dropped a little bit of goo.
Let's just hope it has the Resident Evil effect. And what I mean by that is, have you noticed how when the Resident Evil movie ends and when the next one starts, those two things don't interlock, and they're like they kind of contradict each other a little bit. And you're like, and you know what's weird? It's all written by one person, and he can't keep it straight.
The Resident Evil movies are like Final Fantasies. Like it's the Resident Evil movie of whatever world they're on. Like every one of them's an alternate story.
You're not wrong.
Final Fantasies are built like that by design. I'm pretty sure the Resident Evils try, but then they just say, we licked it, we tapped it, and that's good enough.
They do whatever is fun the week that they're shooting. And that's how they make the movie. And then they have fun, which ends up, in the long run, they end up making fun movies and then they make some money off of them. No one ever said they were good. They're just fun.
Listen, I'm here for plot. What am I doing here?
Well, then you're watching the wrong franchises, my man.
I know.
No Resident Evil, no Fast and the Furious for you. Knock that shit off.
I mean, but
I saw Hobbs and Shaw. That's about it.
Willie, you have highlighted the thing that is a concern with this is they're in this big rush to make all of these Spider-Man movies, but not using Spider-Man because of the deal. They've worked with Marvel to some extent right now. So we've got a Craven movie coming out. We had a Morbius movie. We had a Madam Web movie, and everyone's going, what is going on?
Venom 3 coming.
Well, hold on a second. This just in. For the second time already on this podcast, I just remembered that Madam Web was a movie. Holy shit. Let's see if it happens for a third.
Right? I mean, I have not seen it because that didn't seem like a good use of my funds. Let's put it that way. But people that did see it have started talking about the fact that, like, there's all this promise of all these various different Spider-Women. Yeah, they're in the movie for like 2 minutes, all of them and stuff like that.
Yeah, which you saw all of that in the trailer.
Yeah, and it's a movie about Madam Web before she's in the chair, before she's blind, to then set up another universe of things. Oh, and they also jam Ben Parker in there because they want you to be like, hey, remember this exists in the Spider-Man universe. Here's Ben Parker. Meet Ben Parker. He's not dead yet because Peter hasn't screwed up as Spider-Man. So here's Ben Parker. And I was like, I don't understand what they're doing. And it sounds like most fan review was, what the hell did I just watch? And why are they doing this? And perhaps the scattered nature of all of the Spider-Man movies that don't feature Peter Parker has them reconsidering some of the stuff. Because if you'd been reading the rumor mill and the dirt sheets about the future of the Spider-Man movies, it was that Sony and Kevin Feige had very different ideas, where Sony wanted more multiverse stuff because, hey, the Spider-Verse and multiverse stuff is things they've been setting up and playing with. And Kevin Feige wanted something more street level. Well, the current stuff coming out of those insiders right now is that Kevin Feige's winning that fight right now. And you can probably be thinking it's because he pointed at the box office performance of Morbius and Madam Web and went, this is why. This is why we do this.
Which box office? The first time it came out or the second time it came out?
Let's just say combined.
Yeah. I know. I just wanted to point out that it came out twice.
You mean when Sony believed a meme about their movie meant that people wanted to actually go see it?
Yeah, when they proved that, where Willie has his finger on the pulse, and here's Sony with their hand directly shoved up their ass.
Fair enough.
No, I believe it's shoved up their urethra because I looked at that Dune bucket again.
Yeah.
That's
a Warner
what
Brothers
are these movie
thing.
studios doing?
I don't
what
think
are you
that-
movie executives? What are you doing?
Hey,
What?
in all fairness, I don't think the Dune bucket is Sony's fault. I don't think Sony has any involvement with the Dune bucket.
Well, I meant more like movie executives in general.
I don't think the executives have anything to do with merchandising.
It has to go past them to okay it.
Are you sure that the CEOs
It's
of
not
the
all of them.
theater companies are approving merchandise like that?
Somebody approved that Dune fleshlight bucket.
Someone did.
They own the IP. It went through theirs. It had to go through those movie
That's fair.
executives' eyes.
True.
And then
Someone
say,
agreed.
looks good, send it.
Someone had to approve it, yes. But stepping back a sec to the Michael Keaton of it all. Yeah, he was probably the read I got on it when I saw it was he's like, well, I got paid. I don't understand what the hell's going on. And he seemed like he was at least a good sport about not understanding what the hell they were deciding to do here.
Well, no, because I think he fully understood like the Vulture character and what he was doing with his character in the story he was in. He just
but
didn't
not why he was
understand,
in that one.
The popping around bullshit, because it didn't make any sense that he would leave the reality where he knew Peter Parker. Why would that send him to another? That doesn't even make sense by the storyline that they made up in the movie.
Because plot.
Because Sony.
Yeah, fair enough. It was weird.
No.
I don't get it.
Michael Keaton knows two things. He saw a cut of Beetlejuice 2 and he says it's funny. And he knows you don't fuck with Batman. That's what Michael Keaton knows.
That was I don't
Whether
watch
you're
the
Arnold
awards.
Schwarzenegger or you're fucking Danny DeVito, you don't fuck with Batman.
They already shot Beetlejuice 2?
Apparently, yeah, he's seen a cut of it.
Is he not in it?
He is in it. He's Beetlejuice.
he's
Okay, I was
Beetlejuice.
about to say, I've seen a cut of it. You mean you weren't there for the day to actually be in person? That's just a weird
but
way
being
of saying
in the movie and seeing the movie are very different.
Yeah,
things.
I get that.
Look,
he said he's seen a cut of it and it's funny, which that's all I need to know.
I'm all about this renaissance of Michael Keaton where he's getting involved in so much stuff again and having fun. And it makes me a little sad.
I know what we
now,
want.
but
I know what we want.
I know what we want. And the Oscar thing kind of proved it could be really cool to see. But when we had Michael Keaton at the Oscars and he getting called Batman by Schwarzenegger and DeVito, and then he gets this smirk on his face and just kind of motions like this, all I could think was, God damn, Michael Keaton's what, like late 60s, early 70s? He could totally pull off Bruce Wayne and Batman Beyond. Come on, do it. It's not happening.
I'm just saying, you actually give him another 20 years when he's 80, he might actually really look the part from the cartoon too.
I think he's 72.
Okay,
that's when I looked it up. Let me
Michael
look it
Keaton's
up
going to be
to be
around
sure.
another 20. I mean, I'm sorry, Michael Douglas, known as Michael Keaton, will be around another 20 years. So, yeah, Willie, his real name is Michael Douglas.
Yes, to confirm, the Google
Isn't
machine
Michael Douglas
says
his real name not Michael Douglas as well? Isn't that what also is?
I don't
part
know.
of it? Or no, it's Kurt. Yeah, wait, yeah,
Yeah, because it's Kurt Douglas's kid, is Michael Douglas.
but is
yeah,
his real
Michael
name
Keaton-
Kurt Douglas?
I think so. I
Like,
believe
was
so.
Douglas the real last name, or is it? kind of like Charlie
Or
Sheen, Martin
it might have been their
Emilio
it might have been their
Estevez.
it might have been their Hollywood name.
So as
whoever gets it in SAG
I don't
first
know.
gets it.
as per the Google machine, Michael John Douglas, known professionally as Michael Keaton, is an American actor born September 5th, 1951, making him 72 years old. I would not have thought that.
Just having seen him on the Oscars, he looks really good for 72. Like, it's amazing. Like, he's done a good job take care of himself.
He would be great as Old Man Bruce, and I am still mad to this day that they burned the Batgirl movie in which we supposedly got a bunch of him as Old Man Bruce Wayne Batman, who is potentially unhinged.
I think we have another 20 possible years where somebody could convince James Gunn that still needs to happen, and we get Michael Keaton as Old Man Bruce.
Well, supposedly some of the folks that developed the Spider-Verse movies pitched a Batman Beyond to Warner and were turned down. An animated Batman Beyond in the same kind of style as the Spider-Verse, and were turned down, which is also very disappointing to hear. But I also realized that there's a lot of people that have no idea what Batman Beyond is, but you could learn and you would have a lot of fun with it because it's one of my favorite incarnations of Batman, and I want to see it.
Yeah. And you would think that the one thing that Warner Brothers has ever gotten right is that if you slap the word Batman on something, it makes money. Like that, they've always understood. They keep trying to turn their Superman movies into Batman movies because they don't understand why certain things should be dark and gritty. But yeah, they've always understood that if you just slap the name Batman on something, you can make some money. Yeah, if they can't get a Batman Beyond movie right, they're fucking up. So yeah, Lloyd and Miller doing like a Batman Beyond cartoon.
It wasn't Lord and Miller. It was some of the other folks that worked on it, though. I can't remember the exact.
Maybe that's the problem. James Gunn's like, no, I want the two big kids. I want the big kids to do it.
If you want to do Batman Beyond, you got to take the stylizations of what was that movie? The sequel. Harrison Ford was in Blade Runner. The newest Blade Runner. Make it look that same stylizations of the city, and you just set Batman in it with the same tone, like they did with the Batman. That movie was.
Make it a badass animated movie. That's really the best way to do it.
Sure. I mean, they did that.
I mean, the only problem is you wouldn't have Kevin Conroy able to reprise his role, but you could have Michael Keaton play the role of Bruce Wayne. But I think most of the rest of that cast is still alive.
I think so.
Yeah. I'm not saying make it a direct sequel to what we already got in cartoon and comic form, but you could use those same voices because Will Friedle was pretty damn good as Terry McGinnis, for example.
Oh, yeah. I miss that guy. He was always great in Boy Meets World.
He's still working.
And as Ron Stoppable.
The worst.
Yeah, that same voice actor.
Yeah, he's big in voice acting now.
Yeah.
He does all sorts of voice acting.
I don't know why I memorized who he was back when Boy Meets World. I remember, I guess because he had the same Will, the same name, I guess. It probably stuck with me, and that's probably why I kind of followed him.
Well, Willie, we appreciate you sharing the good Michael Keaton word and his shared confusion that we have.
Just like Michael Keaton, what the fuck am I doing here?
I mean, you're just here because you're getting paid, right?
Yeah. Getting paid nothing bucks.
Getting paid. So let's talk. We're going to take a break from movie news because we have more movie news to wrap the news of the week, but we're still going to talk about potentially some characters we have seen in movies. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you remember the game Multiverses when it was in beta last year?
That's the Warner Brothers one, right?
It is the Warner Brothers one, yes.
You have like Shaggy versus Batman.
This was basically DC. This was Warner Brothers.
Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers. Why did I space out on saying Smash Brothers?
It happens. I got what you're going.
You had
Warner Brothers, Mario Brothers, Smash Brothers. We had too many brothers.
You had DC Comics characters, Game of Thrones characters, Looney Tunes characters, other Warner properties. They were all put together into basketball a world players where they got to fight each other. Yeah, you had LeBron in it, if I remember correctly. Yep. I did play Multiverses for a while when it was in beta, and I'm just not huge in fighting games, so I dropped off of it. But I had forgotten that in June 2023, they had taken it down because they were going to retool the game after some concerns of how the game had expanded with the first season pass updates and the first season 2 updates that went into things. What we did find out from Tony Hune, I probably misspoke that, I apologize, who is the co-founder and CEO of Player First. He announced that Multiverse has now been rebuilt in Unreal Engine 5, giving a new look and improved improved visuals. The team has also rebuilt the game from the ground up to support new code, said that players can expect, quote, pinpoint accuracy and consistent game performance no matter what platform you are playing it on. Player First is also adding some really exciting brand new personalities to the roster. However, they did not speak to what other Warner Brothers characters will be coming out. The real question, though, is when are we getting it back? And we sort of got a glimpse at that, and I completely lost the thread here as to where it was. Holy hell, it was in here, and I lost it. Oh, sorry. It's coming back in May. Multiverses returns in May. Completely redone engine, completely redone graphics, potentially new characters coming, and it will continue what it was before, that the base game is free to play, because their thought is, similar to other games, we'll start doing season passes and things like that to be able to build up a revenue stream and have a living game that gets people sucked in. And if they can address...
Everybody wants to be Fortnite.
Effectively. They are also introducing some new modes to the game, and this interests me a little bit because I get tired of PvP all the time. They are doing a brand new PvE mode, which will introduce some additional different rewards that exist outside of the PvP rewards you get. So that could be fun. I don't know. I am cautiously optimistic to see what happens. There was a fairly sizable group of people that were talking with positive buzz about Multiverses when it first dropped and people started getting to play it. And then you have other folks like the Rick and Morty team that started making fun of it, and the fact that the Rick and Morty in there, they killed them off just like they killed off a bunch of other Rick and Mortys across the multiverse. I mean, it was fun.
I don't foresee it being any bigger than Brawlhalla.
Yeah, probably not. Or the suit, or the
Brawlhalla gets consistent. It's consistently puts out stuff, so I mean, it's not bad.
I think the thing that will help them is they've said it's coming out on all the platforms it was previously on. So that means PS4 and PS5, Xbox One and the Xbox Series line, and Windows PC. So they are not cutting off some player base by saying, hey, this re-release of Multiverses is only going to be on the current gen consoles. So I think that helps at least to get people back in. And they do have a roster of characters that people are interested in. So I think that might help bring people to the game when it launches. I think the ultimate success and failure of this game upon its relaunch is, what is it you have to hook people in? Okay, here's your roster on day one. I assume Batman, Superman, and some other big characters are going to be back. Give me a glimpse at your roadmap of what's coming to keep me hooked, to make me want to keep playing this game. People dropped off with the Marvin the Martian content and some other season 2 content because evidently if you were a free-to-play player, the curve was just insane to be able to unlock some of these things, and that scared a lot of people off. And they just thought the game wasn't very well balanced as they started putting some of these other characters in. So they've got to address gameplay balance issues. They've got to address the right way to hook people in to be like, oh my God, I want to keep playing this game. They've got the characters to do it. It's just a matter of pulling it off, I guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, very few games can keep a release schedule in a way that keeps people interested. There's a reason that every time I turn on Fortnite, I don't know what the hell's going on, because everything's changed again. It's because they keep changing that game and keep the kids interested. That's what Fortnite does. I've talked a lot of trash about that game, but they have never not tried to keep updating. They're always trying to make things better. They're always trying to improve, and they're taking ideas from every game out there and making their version of it. You can't blame them for that.
And now they got Disney money.
Disney money don't hurt.
And now they're going to be building Fortnite worlds for Disney and stuff. It's going to be crazy. Not like Fortnite at the amusement parks, but online digital Disney worlds is what they were talking about that exist in this whole Fortnite worlds thing they've developed. It's crazy.
Well, yeah. The way it's going, Fortnite is eventually going to be a game hub that you open up and it's just a bunch of other games.
Already there.
They already have the racing game in there. They got the Lego game, which is basically Fortnite Minecraft. It's fun as hell. And then you have all the versions of Fortnite itself. And then, all the specialty events they do. They just did an Invincible Dock Seismic Attacks, a special event inside Fortnite. Pretty soon it's going to be a kid's going to be like, oh, what are other video games? I just go log into the Fortnite system and I pick the 1 out of 50 Fortnite type games that I want to play.
And that's what they want, because it keeps you
they're
locked
building
into their ecosystem, buying battle passes and stuff like that. Now, one thing I did forget that they're going to have to overcome with multiverses, and credit to the commenters on the article at polygon.com. We're reading this. If you want to read the article yourself, it's in our show notes, bit.ly/ATGN554. But the commenter says, mind you, this early access game already had 2 full seasons of paid content. It's absurd they took it down in the first place. I didn't realize, I mean, I guess I should have, because I talked about season 2 content. I didn't realize how much content they had dropped with that game before they pulled it down.
Yeah, which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. I can see where gamers may not trust it that much. Be like, look, I sunk a bunch of time and money into this. Things got out of whack. And instead of fixing it so that we can keep playing and keep making use of the things that we've bought in this game, you yanked the game down. And who knows if some of that content that I bought is still going to be in there when it comes back, because we don't, this is me just going down possible paths. We don't know for sure on this. Let me clarify. We don't know if all of the stuff that may have existed that you got off of your season passes may still be in the game after it's refactored. Who knows? I assume it probably is, but you know what they say about assuming.
You and Umption. Can you imagine how pissed you'd be? I bought every character. I bought the 2 season passes. I had everything unlocked. And then they relaunch and like, hey, day 1, here's your game. You have nothing. What the fuck? Like, people would be pissed.
If they do something like that, I would hope it's a matter of like, hey, because of how we refactored things, we can't do blah, blah, have some excuse. And then be like, hey, your first 4 season passes, since you bought 2 season passes on the old game, it's prepaid. You're automatically opted in. You don't have to pay for it. If you're going to do something like that, you have to make it up to people. And a 2-for-1 exchange and season passes, that could help make it up to people, I guess.
But
It
what
may
if
help.
that doesn't? What if you don't want the characters in those passes at all? You wanted the one you had. That's why you bought it.
Yeah, I guess the question is, what's going to be in these first passes? And I would assume it's going to be characters that people are going to want universally to try and get people to come back to a game that they have kind of taken out of the spotlight for months at this point in time.
Yeah, that was one I actually forgot about.
I honestly did too. I still had it on my Xbox. And I guess if you had an old version of the game, you could launch it, but you could only do like the training room and like local stuff because the servers weren't active to connect to do anything else. So it was semi-playable, but not really in any fun way, because who goes and plays the training room on these games? Let's be honest. Nobody. Unless there's an achievement for doing it. And even then, who knows?
Yeah, it's not going to get much game time.
I mean, you're asking the fighting game community who goes into practice mode. I think that's a little blindsided.
I mean, the fighting game community isn't going to find any challenge in going practice mode, I wouldn't think.
Oh no! You get all the you get frame data from that. That's how what they do. They get like you get like what attacks do distances. You get frame data. You get all the recovery.
I guess
times.
The real thing though is the game's being refactored. So who's to know if anything that you've done in that practice room is going to matter when it restarts, because they've changed the engine. They're changing how the combat's handled a little bit and stuff like that to smooth things out. It was literally just a way to let people be able to do something with content they may have purchased. What that something is a waste, I think.
It's sad.
I mean, we also have there's like 10,000 other things people can play. And that's the problem. They went away for a while, so people moved on to other games. And I think they're going to have a very hard time bringing people back. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? But we've seen that WB Games hasn't been doing very well lately, aside from the money they made off of Harry Potter. Because remember, they've already basically came out and threw Rocksteady under the bus and said that the Suicide Squad game's a failure because it didn't make them the money they expected. But yeah, go figure. You take Rocksteady, who makes great single-player games, and tell them to make a game as a service. It didn't work very well when BioWare did it with Anthem either. Oh. Sorry, BAchman, I didn't mean to pick at a raw wound.
I laughed, so it's okay.
It's fair. I apologize. I made you sad. I'm going to let you talk about your news that might make you happy.
Yeah, because there was some good movie news, and I saw some movie stuff today. But yeah, we're going to, instead of, as Kevin Smith puts it, instead of shouting into the darkness, we're going to shine a light. So I'm only going to talk about the good movie news that I saw, which is that we're getting Scream 7, which we kind of figured that was coming no matter what. It was just a question of how they were going to go about doing it. And for those that don't remember, Jenna Ortega was busy with doing Beetlejuice 2 and Wednesday season 2. And so she basically stepped away after the actress playing the older sister, Melissa Barrera, had a thing that apparently the company had disagreed with on social media. So she was let go from Scream 7. So then Jenna Ortega followed her out the door. Then the director who was brought in said, oh, well, this has gone from being like a dream project to a nightmare. I'm out. So at that point, they had nothing. Scream 7 didn't have a script. It didn't have a story. It didn't have a director. It didn't have an actress attached to it. It literally was dead in the water. And one of the biggest problems that people had seen when they did 6, even though it was a really good movie, was that apparently the lowball figure they had thrown at Neve Campbell to get her to cameo in the film, being Sidney Prescott, being the final girl of the Scream movies, she said, yeah, I'm not fucking working for this, because apparently they had lowballed the hell out of her. Well, I guess the company that owns Scream found their money truck, because they apparently backed it up to Neve Campbell's house, and she's now starring in Scream 7. And added good news to that, on the Deadline article from, when was this? March 12th, Neve Campbell says she is back for the new Scream movie, and Kevin Williamson is set to direct. For those that don't know, Kevin Williamson is the man who wrote Scream. So other than Wes Craven, maybe the guy that knows the most about the Scream franchise, because he fucking invented it. So he has, I had to check IMDb because I wasn't positive. He does have one other directing credit. Did any of you guys ever see Teaching Miss Tingle?
I know of it. Wasn't that
back when Katie Holmes was the most popular actress in the world?
Oh, that's not the one with Mark Paul Gosselaar. Zach Morris.
No, not the one with Zach. No, it's the one with Helen Mirren and Katie Holmes.
Okay,
where,
I remember. I think it was like similar idea. No, that was the one with the dorm mate did the thing. All right, yeah, that's a different one. All right, they kind of merge. I'm sorry.
There's a lot of teen movies back then, yeah. But yeah, so he does have a directing credit. He has directed a movie before, whether you liked it or not. Like, it was a solid film. It was okay. It wasn't a blockbuster, but it was good. So he has a directing credit. As a writer, he's done tons, because and then everything in Scream is based on his characters. So he's a good storyteller. He's got the main actress, especially from the first 3 films, coming back. So we've got the guy who wrote The Thing coming back to do the 7th version of The Thing. I don't think Sean Cunningham ever came back to Friday the 13th after part 2, if I remember correctly. And Wes Craven came back to do New Nightmare. So his last Nightmare on Elm Street was way different than the first Nightmare. So it kind of makes you wonder, is Kevin Williamson the guy who, kind of took what Wes did on New Nightmare and did the whole meta thing in the most meta way ever and invented the Scream franchise, the slasher killer that watches slasher movies to figure out how to kill people? Is Kevin Williamson going to do something on that level of crazy with the 7th Scream film? I got fingers crossed. I'm holding out hope. I hope they just put out movie posters for Stab 8 and nobody knows what the fuck's going on and you realize it's actually Scream 7. Because that would be the funniest shit in the world. Just a picture of Ghostface in a chrome mask with a flamethrower, and it just says Stab 8. It would be awesome. I don't think that the people funding it would let that happen, but it would be so cool. But yeah, so we got Neve Campbell coming back. We got Kevin Williamson set to direct. And apparently at this point, other than that, that's pretty much all we know. But Kevin Williamson and Neve Campbell both shared pictures on their Instagram. Untitled Scream 7, written by Guy Busick, story by James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick, directed by Kevin Williamson. So Kevin Williamson not writing it, he's just directing it. But you have the guy that wrote the thing directing, he's going to have input on the story, I got to figure. But yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. We're getting Scream 7, which, we kind of figured whoever owned it, eventually they were going to throw the right amount of money at the right person. I did not actually think they were going to get Neve Campbell back, though, which is very cool. Because, I don't know, 7 movies where she only missed 6, so this will be her 6th Scream film. I don't think she's at Jamie Lee Curtis Halloween levels, but she's getting close. I think Jamie Lee Curtis might be the final girl that's been in the most horror movies in one franchise. especially since you consider that franchise has had 3 franchises. But like Neve Campbell's getting close to Scream. I think this is her 6th one, so kind of impressive.
When did the first one come out?
First what?
Scream?
1996. So we
96.
are 2 years away from S2O.
Scream 20, S2O. Huh? You never know. You never know. Oh, what would they do for the big one? Huh? That I'm telling you, man, I want to see it Stab 8. So they on the sly, they shoot Scream 7 and Stab 8 at the same time while no one's looking. And then at the end of Stab 7, you get like a little like post-credit sequence for Stab 8. Like that would be the shit. And then they drop that for the 20th anniversary of Scream. You finally get Stab 8, the one with time travel and the flamethrower. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm 2 Screams behind. Last one I saw had I don't know.
The last one you saw was just called Scream, which was why it was
one
fucking
that
confusing.
Hayden Panettiere was in. I don't know if she's in any other ones. The first one she was in.
That's 4.
Okay, so that one. That's
She
the
was
last
in,
one I
yeah,
seen.
she's in 4 and 6.
So I think I'm 2. So I need to see 5 and 6.
There's 5 and 6. Which 5 is Scream 5, which is Scream, which is we're gonna redo the movie, but keep all the original characters, but then get the number out of there. But then on the next movie, we're gonna add the numbers back in. I mean, it's not as bad as it's not as bad as the Fast and the Furious, but calling it Scream 5 was really it's their one fuck up. It's like just put the V in there. We all know it's Scream 5. No one's calling it Scream. This ain't 1996,
you are right now.
motherfuckers. Yeah, it's Scream 5 though.
That's
We
why I
all
said
know
the original Scream. That's what I was like.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 96. I always remember because that's the year I graduated high school. That was the year that the Scream started.
You know how many Screams I've seen?
Not enough.
0.
What?
I mean,
You've
you
never
can
seen
also
a
add the
Scream
5th
movie?
element in that 0 too, can't you?
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about.
This is my 1 yearly reminder, but I mean, I'm just doing it yearly. I'm not. That's the only time I'm bringing it up. That's it.
Even when I see the movie, and maybe I
You won't
have, and
tell
I'm not
me.
telling you, I'm not going to tell you guys because it's
Right.
become such a fun shtick that I'm just enjoying it now. So
Shtick sucks.
I see how you are.
I'm a fun ruiner. You can call me the fun police.
No, because that means you got order and power.
No, it doesn't. I have no power. What power do you think I have other than the ability to mute your microphone? That's the only power I
power.
have.
You got that
can't
podcast
do that.
power.
Yes, I
You
can.
can't mute my mic. Who do you think you are in here? You're gonna come in here.
There it is. Yeah.
Thank you for setting me up for that, Willie.
the sweet silence.
I'm gonna stand here. I'm gonna filibuster till I'm out of here, and you'll know it. You do know this is just.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard Willie's filibuster for a little bit. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, Filibuster and Willie, for sharing that with us.
Mm-hmm.
They only heard like maybe a third of what you said in between me toggling mute buttons.
Don't
for my
worry,
own.
the silence it will be cut out like it normally is.
Well, we were talking during it, so there's not actually silence.
You know,
We could do-
You know, just because you mute me, I can't. It's not like you're muted to me. I can hear you, right?
We
Still.
were talking, I think. I don't know.
Oh,
I
wait, yeah.
can't-
I'm gonna let you have that.
Reading the Variety article too. Yeah, Willie's mass bat. I don't know why I didn't catch that. It's gonna be 30 years in
Oh
2026.
shit! Yeah, I missed
Yeah,
counting.
not
I
20
missed
years.
counting. You're
that
right.
was some good mathing.
Shit. Yeah.
Forgetting the odds. And yeah, Guy Busick.
Listen,
the reason
listen.
he's
Fuck
on there,
Pass Willie. He got it wrong.
he wrote 5 and 6. So this guy will be writing his third Scream film in a row. So also someone that knows the franchise very well.
God, are you as embarrassed by Pass Willie as I am? That fucking dipshit.
Yeah, way
No
to go,
one
Past
is as
Willie.
embarrassed by Fast Willie as much as you should be.
100%.
Friggin' past Willie,
Mhm.
man.
I mean,
Let
you
us
can't do
down.
math right.
Always.
You
He
add
did
10
some
to that.
poor
Didn't
mathematics.
carry the right number.
He can't math it. He forgot about the aughts.
Past Willie. What are we
He's the
gonna?
worst.
What do we do with Past Willie?
Get rid of him?
Mm.
I mean,
Forget
Can
about him?
we?
Ooh, I heard Deadpool has a time machine. Maybe we could look into that.
Ooh.
ooh, he's in the TVA, so technically, probably. Just from what we saw in trailers, I know no spoilers, people. So
Oh,
please
I
don't.
know it all. I already know the plot. You see, they're so meta with this movie that it already got leaked with with unfinished CGI, just like Logan X-Men Origins.
There you go. Evidently, there's a bunch of Kevin Feige jokes in it, supposedly, which I think could be entertaining.
Sure. I mean, who why was that a news article that came out? Who cares?
Willie,
they did it in She-Hulk. Who cares?
Because people want clicks, and if you talk about the Deadpool movie, people are going to click on it to find out about it. So they put something out there that is what we call clickbait, so that they can get paid for the number of clicks they get on their article.
Yeah, it's just, but they did it in She-Hulk, so who cares? They did a whole bit on it.
People are dumb and mad about She-Hulk for some reason. I don't understand it. I thought it was fun, but whatever.
It's fine as whatever.
Because they're all people that never actually read.
I love that guy.
Yeah, they never read the good She-Hulk, so they didn't know how funny that character could be. Yeah, Dan Slott's She-Hulk's one of the funniest thing ever written in comics. More people should have read it. Damn good She-Hulk.
You're not wrong.
But my whole point of She-Hulk is they did the Kevin Feige jokes a lot in there. They had a whole Kevin Feige bye.
But I mean, part of the
that wore the hat. I love that he wore the hat.
Part of the thing with Deadpool is being meta, and I guess they're going to lean hard into it.
Have you ever seen Ron Howard and Kevin Feige in the same room at the same time?
Nobody has.
No?
They're the same person.
Interesting.
Not sure that's how that works, but
they look similar enough for the joke to work.
They don't at all.
They look similar enough for the joke to work.
They're white dudes with no hair.
White men in ball caps.
Red hair. Come on.
I don't know if Feige's a redhead.
I don't think.
I don't know. He's always wearing
Feige's
the goddamn hat, man. I can't tell.
Fair.
Oh, big Stretch Willie. He's stretching things.
Can we call him Stretch Nelson? Like Stretch Armstrong?
Reaching. He's reaching.
Listen, the only reaching I do is around.
Should have known that was coming.
Yeah.
What, the reach around? You should have felt it coming, all right.
It's true. It's true.
You know what else everyone should feel coming? The wrap up of the show, or how we start wrapping things up. A little segment called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you fine folks watching live or listening at a later date the geeky and nerdy stuff that we've been getting into, because hey, we like to think that we have some pretty decent tastes. So we like to share those tastes with you fine folks so that you might want to go check out some of these same things yourselves. And I'll just kick things off because I got a list that I made because I was trying to be productive here. And in regards to let's kick it indeed. In regards to television, the only show I'm really up to date on right now, because my wife and I watch it with dinner every night, is After Midnight on CBS, which airs at 12:37 a.m. But for those that are not aware or don't remember my talking about it, it's basically the successor to At Midnight that was on Comedy Central, but only now it's an hour long on CBS, hosted by comedian Taylor Tomlinson. And it's pretty damn fun. And I enjoy getting to be introduced to comedians I didn't realize I knew, to comedians that I hadn't heard of before that are damn funny. And then getting to see folks like Ron Funches return and bring his title belt with him because he's still undefeated. And then Flula Borg was even back this week. And I love Flula.
Flula's hilarious. That guy's funny as hell.
It's a fun show. If you have Paramount Plus, I do believe it is on Paramount Plus as well. And they do put a lot, not necessarily all, but a lot of content from After Midnight goes on their YouTube channel as well. It's a really funny show. I've been having a lot of fun watching it. And the thing I have realized as I watch this one is a lot of these comedians make me laugh, but what makes me laugh the hardest is when they break the host, Taylor Thompson, who's also a comedian. When she just starts losing it because she's laughing, there's something about a comedian that just is cracking up and can't help it that makes it even funnier to me.
Yeah, I think that's why Doug Benson was on the original so many times, because I think Chris Hardwick was a huge Doug Benson fan.
Yeah. I'm hoping that more of the originals come back from time to time, because it was great seeing Ron Funches back. It was great seeing Flula back. And there's been a few folks from the old group that have been shown up, but much like what At Midnight was, we're getting introduced to a lot of comedians that you didn't realize you knew, because you're like, oh, wait, I've heard their stuff before. How'd I hear this? Nice. And you look up their IMDb and like, oh, it was on some Netflix comedy special I watched, or on some weird comedy show that was on TBS that I forgot I even watched. It's fun. I like it a lot. So go check it out if you have a chance. If you like comedy, if you like to have good laughs after midnight, it's really enjoyable. Been having a lot of fun with it. I've also been playing a little bit of video games because just within the last week, Insomniac dropped the new game plus for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. So I've been revisiting Spider-Man 2 with the new game plus. They added some new costumes, but they also tweaked some existing costumes. So the Homecoming costume for Spider-Man got tweaked and made a little cleaner, and the Sam Raimi suit got tweaked so that the webs aren't like glowing on it. They were almost like glowing in the other version. They've been updated and look really good
I'm
now.
assuming that was something with like the ray tracing or something, like the light reflecting off of it, and it was like just making it glow.
Whatever they did now, it looks really cool. They've also made it so that there's some real cool things that reflect what your powers would be at the end of the game that I can't say because I don't want to spoil BAchman. And you can continue leveling up your character in New Game Plus so that for those that played through the skill tree for things like traversal and combat, there were certain points where it would just branch once and you would have to pick which power you wanted, and you could flip back and forth between them if you wanted. As part of New Game Plus, you can buy the skill points to basically get rid of the option there. So like one of the options was you can either have accelerated web launch or you can swing faster. Now you can unlock to have both of those if you want.
Nice.
But you have to reacquire some stuff in game. All of your city tokens and stuff carry over. And if you've leveled your gadgets up all the way, they've now added another tier on top of that, which is an expensive level up. It's really just cosmetic, but now you can have golden gadgets. So you could have like golden web shooters now. Or golden.
I mean, sure.
It's cool to have it's cool to have something to incentivize you to keep doing those things. It's a lot of fun. I also enjoyed that because skills that I purchased were still there. Like everything is on the mini map as I swing through the city. I'm like, oh, there's a spider over there. I need to go pick it up because I saw it pop up on my mini map. Or, oh, there's a golden chest that I'm swinging by. I should go see where that is. Been having fun with it. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next. If you were paying attention, there was some stuff that came out where, and this is not part of the Insomniac leak, but I guess people were messing around with the game and found an unlocked dev menu, which kind of showed some chapters names for the rumored DLC.
Nice.
So there is potentially DLC coming, it would appear.
Speaking of which, did you also see that there was like a found secret room?
I heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
yet.
it's like in like a bookstore, and it's like a bookshelf, and there's like a whole like a entranceway to another room behind it. It's like, but the bookshelf's in front of you. You can clip through the couch in front of the bookshelf, but you can't go through the shelf. But you can go on the outside of the building, go around it, and look in to the window from the other side, and it's loaded with guns.
Huh. That's interesting. A few other things real quick. This week's been real exciting for me. We've had work being done in the neighborhood as there is a company in that has laid all of the fiber in our neighborhoods so that we will soon be getting fiber installed to our houses. Now that the backbone has been laid for everything, I was told that they would start doing signups this week, and presumably I will then have symmetrical gigabit service, meaning that my upload and my download will both be gigabit. And I
thought you meant they were planting wheat down your road. Okay, that makes sense.
No, this was fiber for fiber optic cable, rather.
Listen, I told you we're corny, but no one listened.
We're a little grainy too, it appears. Other stuff I've been looking into is because telework seems to be a thing that's been sticking for me. I'm starting to do some research on getting a sit-to-stand desk, because if I'm going to be working from home, I wouldn't mind having that capability. I've been doing some research. If you guys have suggestions on some sit-to-stand desks I should be looking at, feel free to drop them in the comments on YouTube or Twitch, or hit me up on social media. I'm at the Chris Farrell on Threads, and I sometimes go on Twitter, but Threads is the best way to get a hold of me if you have suggestions. So please drop them in my mentions if you don't mind. Two last things. 2 weeks ago, watched Sting's final match at the AEW Revolution pay-per-view. It was delightful. It was fun for a 65-year-old dude. The dude could go strong in the end, and it was a really good send-off for Sting. And it was in Greensboro, North Carolina. Willie could have gone. You could have been there.
My buddy went.
Yeah? Did he enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a fun show. And then finally, because Steven and SP, for some reason, like having me involved in things because they don't have common sense, it would appear, I guested on the most recent published episode of Better Podcasting, where they've done a live episode since this one went out. So if you go to betterpodcasting.com right now, it is the most recent episode that will show up, but within 2 or 3 days, there'll be a new episode that will be the most recent. But the whole concept of what I talked about with those guys was transitioning our podcast off of the Podbean service over to the free Spotify for Podcasters service, why I did it, what the process was like, things like that. So lots of cheap plugs for ATGN. So it's only fair that I give Better Podcasting a cheap plug here on our show. And for those that are unfamiliar, it is another show on our network hosted by my buddies, Stephen John Drew and Stargate Pioneer, where they assist hobby podcasters with starting your own podcast, strategy for podcasting, gear, answer questions, stuff like that. If you've been considering doing a podcast, go check out Better Podcasting. It's an incredibly valuable tool for getting started or upping your game if you are already podcasting. They do not spend their time like other podcasting help shows where it's like, here's how you get people to click on this, or here's the importance of doing such and such. Their view is podcasting for hobbyists. It's people that are doing it because they have fun. And hey, if we're lucky enough, we make enough money to pay for our bills in doing it. I can tell you in a decade plus of doing this podcast, I've never made enough money to cover a yearly bill for this show.
But we keep trying.
We keep trying, and those downloads keep going down.
All right.
Hell.
At least we're consistent.
Ish.
And we're back this week from missing last week.
There you go.
Always look on the bright side of life, right? But that's what I've been getting into.
Inconsistent.
Exactly. That's what I've been getting into. I didn't have anything else on the list. I'm sure, as per usual, I'll think of something as the rest of these guys are going. So I'm going to toss things over. BAchman, what you been getting into, sir?
I'm going to end with video games, but I'm going to start with reading because I finally slayed a giant beast. I can finally give Colin back his bone book that I borrowed like 8 years ago because he let me borrow the complete bone. This damn book weighs like 10 pounds. I finally read it. I finally finished it. It's great. Of course, there's a reason it won all the Oscars and Harvey Awards. It's a great fucking book. It just took me forever to finally get around to like getting past like the first 20 pages the first couple of times I started it. And yeah, sat down and like I've been doing like on my like Tuesday mornings, that's my Saturday. I've been getting up early before the wife, having like 2 cups of coffee and just sitting in my recliner and like tearing through like 100 pages of bone at a time. And 1,300 pages later, I got to add it to my Goodreads because I'm done. So yeah, that beast is out of the way. I did when we went out to Texas Roadhouse for our late afternoon snack. I also stopped by Half Price Books, and just got to pick up some more fun Warhammer stuff for the reads and the artwork, like way out of edition, like 8th edition Chaos Space Marine book, Death Guard book, but get it for the lore and the artwork, not the playable rules, because of course, yeah, like Warhammer's on like 10th edition now. It'll be 11th soon, but yeah, just cool artwork. And then I've been working my way through. I started my yearly, what I've been doing yearly as a reread, which is the Invincible comic. And I had last year I just read the 3. I have all 3 compendiums digitally on the what was Comixology, which is now on my Kindle app. And last year I just tore through them. I realized it wasn't quite as much fun. So I was like, you know what? This year I'm going to actually bust out. I have all 12. The book, is 144 issues. You divide them into 12. It's nice and easy into 12 hardcovers. There are oversized library. It's the Invincible Ultimate Collection. Finished volume 6, which is when Invincible puts on the blue suit. This is the volume that has the Invincible War, which leads into the TV show I've been watching, because something that was supposed to come out tomorrow came out today. And I watched episode 5 of season 2 of Invincible twice already today. And I've been trying to do the math in my head because we were talking about how much they could fit into Invincible in a season. And the fact that like the Invincible War happens in volume 6, and they may get to that by the end of season 2. So if the season 2 of the show can get to that, they may squeeze Invincible into 4 years.
Damn.
Like I mean, they'd have to lose a lot. They'd have to drop a lot. But I was thinking about like they could literally do if they keep doing it the way they're doing, where it's 48, 50 minutes per episode, and you keep getting the post credits little like bonus bits. I think Kirkman might actually be able to get his entire, let's say 80% of the story of Invincible into 4 seasons of a cartoon. They can damn sure do it in 5. And if we do it in 5, that may be where like we get the end of all things, like episodes 1 through 8 as the 5th season, where that was the last 12 issues of the comic was a 12-part story called The End of All Things. But yeah, like just seeing where they've gone so far and like how close we are, and knowing that like in the artwork for season 2, part 2, in the reflection of Invincible's goggles, you have the return of Angstrom Levy. So we know he's coming back within the next, like these last 4 episodes of season 2. We don't know how far that's going to get. I mean, yeah, we may get, I mean, spoilers, but like we know the Invincible War is coming. We may get Conquest before the end of season 2.
Wow.
And if that happens, that's halfway through the Invincible story is when you meet Conquest. So, I mean, they're moving that sucker along, and it's awesome. Yeah, I saw that came out, and I literally went on to Amazon again today. I was like, okay, I want just Prime Video. I don't need your bullshit shipping, your other features that I never use. Here's your $9. Give me my month. And then, yeah, I watched Invincible. And yeah, the new episode is so great. And yeah, that's where the line comes from, because Rex orders pizza and then he gets sent to go fight the Lizard League. And yeah, they put it in the commercial. It's just hilarious. Die fast, assholes. My pizza's getting cold. Who doesn't love Rexplode? The man's just hilarious. And then, yeah, other than that, I finished one of the 3 big, I've been working on my Orc Kill Team, a bunch of other minis for the March of Madness. I was trying to finish my buddy's Drukari, so I got his gunner all done. He's fully painted, fully chromed up, good to go. So the next time I see my buddy Colin, I can give him his figure back and his bone book. So he's going to have a good day the next time he comes over. And then I've been working on, I picked up the Space Marine board game for Warhammer, which has like 22 Tyranids and then a Space Marine. The Ultramarines their home is Macragge. So in Warhammer, people always do the March for Macragge for the month of March. So a lot of people paint Ultramarines, which are the blue Space Marines. If you've seen a Space Marine, it's probably an Ultramarine. So I'm painting my very first Blueberry. And so, yeah, just got the blue on him so far. I did a little like purple undercoat and then added like just little bits on like the tabard and the pouch so far. So not much on him, but now I can focus a little more on him. And there's a guy over in France running a contest. I think it's Poor Zinch on Instagram. He's doing a word bearers contest. So I've been working on my Dark Apostle. And so I've added to his flames. He's got a flaming book. He's got a big old staff with a metal cudgel that he can beat people to death with. He's got he's just got 1,000 little tiny bits because he's a freaking Chaos Space Marine, and they're covered with nothing but little metal bits of trim and like chrome everywhere. And then this one also has like burning candles and like wax burning off of the candles on his backpack and his book. So just crazy details, super fun. Been working on him. Yeah. Other than that, I've been playing some video games, and I finally finished all 4 of the Uncharted video games. I was going to say films.
Nice.
Finished all 4 Uncharteds.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 movie, 4 games. And yeah, I have to say I enjoyed it.
5.
What?
The
5
Lost
games?
Legacy is also a spin-off.
Is there another one?
That's called The Lost Legacies. It's like a spin-off of it. You don't have to worry about it. It follows Chloe and the woman that beats the shit out of the Drakes. The African lady, the
one that
runs the company.
Yeah, the mercenaries.
I can't remember her name off the top of my head. I know it's there. My head's just not there.
But yeah, no. Super fun game. It was kind of crazy going through, especially starting with one as old as Uncharted 1, and then like seeing the jump in, the video, the play controls, like that first Uncharted just felt so clunky playing it today because it is so old. And I always try to take that, take it with a grain of salt. You playing an old game, it's going to be a little clunky. But yeah, by the time I got to 4, really smooth, really good storytelling. That honestly, yeah, driving the Jeep around Madagascar is the funnest thing in all 4 of those games. Like that sequence is just a blast, and just randomly coming up on towers, sneaking up, killing some people, hopping back in the Jeep and driving around. Like that whole sequence was just super fun. A lot of the puzzles are really fun. Some of them were a little weird, but yeah, like it's get you thinking. The simple fact that Nathan Drake may be I think he may have. If you play those 4 games and watch the 4 John Wick movies, I think he has more kills than John Wick. Like Nathan Drake kills like 40,000 people in those 4 games. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of it, especially the 4th one. Like I said, that one was definitely like it kicked the crap of the other 3. Like it was so good. And then because I finished one franchise, I did start another one. And I've only got about an hour in, but I am now a Spectre. So I made my John Shepard.
Yes.
I have started the Mass Effect. I got my ship and I randomly just picked like a planet, landed on it, and killed a bunch of pirates. Like I didn't know what I was doing, driving my vehicle around. I found some people, they started shooting at me, so I shot them. Just a weird game. You could definitely it's BioWare, so you're getting a good story, but it was kind of funny watching go through the first sequence where it's a very small kind of on rails tutorial part. And I'm like, this guy's the the greatest soldier in the world, but if I put my cursor dead center on an enemy and fire 4 of the bullets miss, his aim is atrocious.
Well, that was part of the problem with the mechanic they used in the first Mass Effect, is that it's a dice roll every time you pull the trigger, basically. So it's
I haven't spent points on making my greatest soldier in the galaxy good at aiming his gun yet. It's are you fucking kidding me?
But have you seen Stormtroopers?
Exactly. Yeah. At the start of the game, my Shepard is a Stormtrooper. But yeah, so getting through just the very beginning. Yeah, literally it's an hour in. I will say it was very nice, going from Uncharted 1, 2, 3, and 4 and seeing the jump in the graphics, and then starting the Mass Effect Legacy Edition. I never played Mass Effect 1. I never played Mass Effect 2. I'm starting out at we've redone everything to make it kind of up-res and look better. Uncharted 4 down to Mass Effect 1, not a huge degrade. It's not that much of a drop in graphics, which is pretty nice, seeing that I just finished a super new Uncharted. I'm going back to the first Mass Effect. So yeah, I think I played them in the right order. Because I think if I did Mass Effect 3 and then went back to Uncharted 2, I'd be really disappointed. Or Uncharted 1. But yeah, it seems fun so far. I got to get into it a little bit more, but the yakking and the politics at the little space station thing, I was like, all right, this is too much talking, y'all. Let me go shoot somebody. What the fuck's going on? But now that I have the ship and I'm out and about, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be more fun. But I still got No Man's Sky, and I finished the first expedition now in the new game. Now I got that on PS5. Mass Effect its story better get good, because every time I sit down, it's I got 2 space games to play. Do I want to go enjoy myself and listen to my podcast and mine, or do I want to go kill people as Shepard? So
it takes a little bit for it to pick up in Mass Effect 1, and then by the time you get to the end game and then the next 2 games, it just keeps beating you over the head with things.
We'll see how it does. But yeah, I finished the one series, and I'm starting the next one, so I'm getting through them.
All I'm going to tell you is there's no Shepard without Vicarian. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm not sure if I know who Vicarian is yet.
You may not. You may not.
I don't know. I don't care. I played 2 of those games.
That's fair.
That's what I'm getting into.
Well, Willie, why don't you finish things up for us? What you been getting into, sir?
Do I have to?
You don't have to. You can choose to abstain.
If I have to, fine. Let's continue it like we did, like we have been. Let me start off by doing my 5 musical picks that I've been listening to recently.
Willie's top 5.
Yeah, sure. I'm like Casey Kasem, but without the Shaggy. Number 5. Let's start with Jelly Roll and Save Me. It's such a. I'm a basic bitch. What can I say? I like a good cry. And speaking of
I like
cries,
the Jelly Roll.
And I also went back in time, and I went back to number 4. Don't Speak by No Doubt, just because it's fun.
Oh shit! All right.
Number 3. Ghost of Mississippi by the Steel Divers. It's always a good one. 16 Tons by. There's various people that do it, but
and what do you get?
Another Day Older and Deeper in Debt. The one I listened to was Tennessee Ernie Ford, but I mean, there's various artists all over the place. You can't go wrong, probably. And the number 1, just because it's fun and has a theme, Thank You by Dido. Dido? I never knew how to
pronounce it. I thought it was Dido.
Yeah. Okay, Dido. You know I'm trying to do it. I have started watching a show that I think you guys might have recommended it at one point in time, but I finally started, and it's Barry. I don't know.
I've heard that's good. I haven't watched it yet.
I know I've heard recommendations. I can't remember from who.
I think I brought it up because I watched like the first 4 or 5 episodes when I had HBO Max after I finished Sopranos. I was just trying to find another show, and like I had started that one. It was really good. I didn't stick with it, but I mean, everything I've heard, that thing just keeps getting better and better as you go.
Yeah, I'm 2 episodes in. I'm hoping to continue it. It's like, all right, I need to watch a show instead of, I don't know what I'm doing. I might as well play Dead by Daylight tonight. You know,
I saw you on Dead by Daylight actually when I was on my PlayStation. I was like, oh, it's Willie playing Dead by Daylight. Cool.
You can't send a message or nothing. Fine, I see how it is.
I mean, I figured you're busy playing. Why do you need a message from me?
You can send me a message because I don't know you. Can send me a message. Hey man, I see you playing Dead by Daylight. Yeah, well, hey, I'm playing Dead by Daylight. What are you up to? Let's have a conversation about it.
I just told you what I was doing like 5 minutes ago. I was playing
now, but you didn't say it then.
Well, why didn't you text me?
I don't know. Ow! Ooh! Hold on. Let me ask Future Willie if this pain will go away because I think someone kicked past Willie in the dick.
He deserved it.
Oh, give me 1 second.
This might be my favorite shtick that Willie's done. The past, present, future Willie stuff.
Future Willie's got bad news. The pain's going to be here for a while. God damn it. Fuck you, past Willie. God damn it. Learn to block.
Maybe past Willie just has no fear. Because past
That's what
Willie
I've been getting into, getting kicked in the nuts.
That sounds uncomfortable. I'm sorry to hear that. Past,
present,
and future Willie. I mean, because I assume future Willie's going to get kicked in the nuts at some point too.
Oh, for sure.
Come on, man. Why?
I mean, if past Willie did, that would mean that at some point in time, past Willie was future Willie based off this logic.
Listen, you're not thinking quantumly enough. We
guys
are
Groot?
Willie?
Separate one?
Do y'all just add the word quantum in front of things?
I mean, it's a shtick from Rick and Morty, I think.
It's technically right.
Doesn't Rick have a line if you can't just add quantum in front of anything, Morty? And he's like, but it is the quantum blah blah. And Rick's like, yes.
Mm-hmm. Of course
But I mean, it does work though, right? That is the term, the right. You know what?
I mean, you're just following Star Trek logic, which is just put some techno babble in front of a word. People will just gloss over it and be like, okay, sounds about right.
My head hurts. And my head hurts.
Is this past Willie saying that, or present Willie, or future Willie?
I'm present Willie. What is so hard to understand?
But as soon as you speak, you're no longer present Willie. You're past Willie.
Yes, I am. I'm always present Willie.
He was past Willie.
He what?
Exactly. How does he get it?
Because I can explain the Summers family
Why
tree
did you
in
hang
X-Men.
out with these, future Willie? Why? Why were you here? You got to deal with this. You see?
Because I can explain the Summers family tree. And if you can explain the Summers family tree in X-Men, that's a bachelor's in quantum theory right there.
You're not wrong. Side note, Gail Simone's writing an X-Men book now, which I thought was pretty cool to see.
It's cool to see Gail Simone writing anything. Whatever she writes is always. She made Bane one of the coolest characters ever, who I thought was one of the worst characters they ever made.
You're not wrong.
And she made him great. Gail Simone can write her ass off.
That is not a lie. You know what else is not a lie? That we're about to wrap up this show.
We done.
Before we wrap it up, though, a friendly reminder to everyone watching live or listening at a later date. We do record this show live on Thursdays right now at 8 p.m. Eastern. Head on over to gonnageek.com/live, and you can catch us there. We do simulcast to a bunch of other websites out there, but the best place to be able to make sure you can chat with us in the chat room is over at gonnageek.com/live. And while you're there, you can see a calendar of all of the upcoming live events and other live shows in the network. So please go check out some of those other shows and tell them that we sent you. If you want to chat with us, we're on social media, but the best way to do it, go to gonnageek.com/discord. There is a Discord server, for our show and all the other shows on the Gonna Geek Network. We have a community in there talking about all sorts of different geeky and nerdy topics, plus channels for our own podcast. So if you wanna rake us over the coals for our shitty hot takes in the most recent episode, go to the Discord, go to the All Things Good and Nerdy channel, and fire away. We greatly enjoy.
Go fuck
your
yourself.
feedback. Whoa. We only say that if we can't counter the argument that's being made because
fair enough.
Okay,
fair enough.
now you're starting to sound like a cynical future Willie, and you need to trust me. That guy's a dick.
here's the thing, Willie. Present Chris is future Willie. I'm your future.
Oh shit! Inception, that bitch.
Ooh.
I mean, actually, you know what? Actually, don't give me hope like that. That's a nice thing, man.
I don't know about that.
Don't give me hope.
Don't give me hope.
Hawkeye?
What is that from?
Avengers.
Those
Yeah.
Avengers.
Yeah.
Who said
No,
it?
no,
Don't
it's
give
from
me
Hawkeye.
Endgame. It's when
Endgame.
it's when Black Widow goes and finds Hawkeye as Ronin killing all sorts of people and
Yeah.
basically says,
Oh
we might
yeah,
have a
don't
way
give
to
me hope.
undo
That's
it.
well, yeah,
Don't
that's
give
what's
me
from.
hope.
Yeah.
I thought for
until
some
we're
reason
gonna fix it.
I pictured Tilda Swinton in fucking Doctor Strange saying it. Don't give me hope. I don't know why that mental image was there.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's
mental image.
way different character in those movies.
Well, I know, but it was mostly just because I pictured her with a bald head. That's why.
Fair enough.
That's the
Before we
only reason.
before we shut this thing down, you guys have any final thoughts for the people?
Bald Tilda
Invincible.
Swinton is best Tilda Swinton.
That's true. Invincible season 2 is certified fresh at 100% on the
Very
tomato
nice.
meter with 40 reviews. If you've ever liked a comic book character, ever enjoyed a superhero, go watch you some Invincible. It is the best cartoon right now in the universe.
You
Fair
didn't have
enough.
to tell them that. It's of course it's 100%. They already knew that.
I don't know which version of himself he's talking to. And I'm not sure if this
Nobody
is a manifestation.
Fuck! I
schizophrenia.
was getting you backwards. I need to put some signs up for you and you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
On that
sorry for
note-
twirling underneath you.
On that note, we are going to shut things down. Thank you so much to everyone who did join us, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.